Welcome to this week's edition of NFL Previews and Picks. At the Superdome, the Houston Texans come in to play the New Orleans Saints. Could this be Houston's year? Not sure yet, but they look pretty good so far. This game is a real test as they go into the Superdome to play the Saints. While it was inevitable that the Texans improve, the fact is that they are getting a little help from Peyton Manning. Reluctantly, of course. Their offense, led by Matt Schaub, seems to be improving with each game. Not sure if Arian Foster, a.k.a. Hammy Tweeter, not to be confused with Hannah Teeter, will play after re-aggravating the injury. For the Saints, you know the drill. Drew Brees psyching up his team and the fans and then throwing pinpoint passes during the game. Who says you have to be 6'5" to play quarterback in the NFL? Mark Ingram from Alabama has looked solid running the ball, and they get Will, not the Fresh Prince Smith, back this week after serving a 2-game suspension for violating the substance abuse policy. A daunting task for the Texans, to say the least. To say the most, Saints win. At Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, the New York Giants come in to play the Philadelphia Eagles. The big question here is who will start at quarterback for the Eagles? Mike Vick was battered around last week by the Falcons and didn't finish the game. In comes Mike Kafka. They have Vince Young on the roster, but he's still nursing an injury. If Vick plays, the Giants' defense will blitz on every play. Could get really ugly, folks. As for the Giants, right now they are too busy fending off reports about faking injuries last week. They should be making sure that they can outscore the Eagles. I think Mike Vick at least tries to play, but the G-men win in a defensive battle. At Carolina Bank of America Stadium, the Jacksonville Jaguars come in to play the Carolina Panthers. Blaine Gabbert against Cam Newton. And you thought you'd have to wait till next year to see this matchup. The Jags' revolving door at quarterback now swings to rookie quarterback Blaine Gabbert. Good luck, kid. The Panthers are led by rookie sensation Cam Newton. This guy is definitely the real deal, even if his ethics are questionable. Averaging 400 plus yards passing in his first 2 NFL starts. Are you kidding me? There's no way the Jags win this game. At Buffalo, Ralph Wilson Stadium, the New England Patriots come in to play the Buffalo Bills, a division battle of 2-0 teams. The scheduling gods got this one right. Bring the Pats into Buffalo while the Bills are brimming with confidence. Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing great. He is spreading the ball around, and they are playing inspired football, especially with that Frank Reichian comeback last week. I usually pick the Pats, even though I can't stand them. But this week I'm going out on a limb and picking the Bills. At Cleveland Browns Stadium, the Miami Dolphins come in to play the Cleveland Browns. Miami has looked good at times this year and terrible at others. Same could be said for the Browns, but at least they actually seem to be building something instead of playing the status quo. Tony Sparano and Chad Henne must not remember that they should start winning games or at least competing, or they will be out of jobs next year. The Browns are at least having some success with Colt McCoy and Peyton Hillis. Low-scoring game here, Browns winning. At Cincinnati Paul Brown Stadium, the San Francisco 49ers come in to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Can you believe both of these teams are 1-1? This game has the potential to be a stinker, but I've always liked Jim Harbaugh. I've always been a Jim Harbaugh fan during his playing days and now as a coach. Very interesting to see if he can restore the Niners to the glory days. As for the Bengals, if they can keep Andy Dalton on the field, he looks like he could really develop into something great. Problem there is the injury bug has hit his receivers. This game looks like it could be one of those that could go either way. A score fest or a defensive battle. Cincy gets the win, but not by much. LP Field in Tennessee, the Denver Broncos come in to play the Tennessee Titans. In spite of having a quality quarterback in Matt Hasselbeck, the Titans have looked pretty close to terrible so far this season. As for the Broncos, Kyle Orton seems to be firmly entrenched at the starting quarterback position, but Tim Tebow did get some action in last week's game as a decoy. Trade him already. The Broncos are just a better team right now, and even through all the quarterback turmoil, Broncos win. At Mall of America Field, the Detroit Lions come in to play the Minnesota Vikings. Just what the reeling Vikings needed. A visit from the super competent Lions for this NFC North matchup. The Lions are looking just sort of amazing this year, with the offense clicking and the defense playing awesome football. Is their MVP Matt Stafford or Ndamukong Suh? Could be both. Could be either. Lions win. At the Edward Jones Dome, the Baltimore Ravens come in to play the St. Louis Rams. The Ravens came out like gangbusters in the Steelers game, and then laid a bit of an egg last week. That psychological hangover I mentioned last week actually happened. The Rams moved the ball fairly well last week against the Giants. My guess is the Ravens defense will come after Sam Bradford on every play, and their offense will try to control the clock. Ravens win. At the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum, the New York Jets come in to play the Oakland Raiders. Games in Oakland are always fun due to the crazy people in Raider Nation. Of course, the Raiders are playing pretty well so far this year, so that might not be so fun for Rex Ryan and his Jets. Offensively, both teams are a lot alike. They want to run the ball with the intent of remaining on schedule, so the quarterback doesn't have to do too much. For the Jets, I am in line with most experts that say that Mark Sanchez needs to step up his game for the team to really be successful. No worries about the Darrelle Revis-led defense. The Jets are currently third in the power rankings. Third, way too high. Raiders win. At San Diego Qualcomm Stadium, the Kansas City Chiefs come in to play the San Diego Chargers. Remember last year when the Chiefs were winning? This year, not so much. The Chargers laid a bit of an egg last week in Foxborough, so this game could be just what the doctor ordered. Phillip Rivers should have a big day. Chargers win, probably going away. At CenturyLink Field in Seattle, the Arizona Cardinals come in to play the Seattle Seahawks. Oh my God, yet another field changing its name. When will the madness stop? As for the game, the Seahawks are playing pretty offensive offense so far this season. The Kevin Kolb-led Cardinals aren't a whole lot better, but should win this game relatively easily. At Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, the Atlanta Falcons come in to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Offensively, these two teams are pretty even right now. Both teams are ranked in the top 20 in overall offense. Defense, it's another story. The Falcons can't stop anybody, which would be good news for Josh Freeman-led offense. Both teams are in top 5 in total defense. Odd if Atlanta can't stop anybody. Tampa wins. At Soldier Field in Chicago, the Green Bay Packers come in to play the Chicago Bears in an NFC North battle. These two fierce rivals have played each other over 100 times over the years. There is a dislike that is passed down to new players. Here's a chance for Jay Cutler to settle somewhat of a score from the NFC Championship game from last year. Can he do it? Probably not. However, the Pack is starting to pile up the injuries, just like they did last year. Nick Collison is gone for the season. The Packers are still riding a bit of a wave right now and win this game. At Indianapolis, the Lucas Oil Stadium, the Pittsburgh Steelers come in to play the Indianapolis Colts. Oh, just what the Peyton Manningless Colts needed. A visit from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I did see the other day that Jeff George said he would like to come out of retirement to help his hometown team? Jeff George or Kerry Collins? I'll take Brett Favre over both of them any day of the week. Similar to some of the other games, the Steelers will play the run to try to force Collins to beat them. Not going to happen. Steelers win. And finally, on Monday night, the Washington Redskins come in to play the Dallas Cowboys at Cowboy Stadium. And of course, the NFC East matchup. Tony Romo is the story here. He whose leadership has been questioned over the years, broke a rib, punctured a lung, and still managed to throw the winning touchdown in overtime. Gutsy player for sure, even though he did play hide and go seek at his bachelor party. Offensively, these two teams are even. It's defensively where the Redskins might have an ever so slight edge. But given this stage on Monday night and the Cowboy Stadium, I'm going with the Cowboys. And there you have it, this week's edition of NFL Previews and Picks.